What's up, my diggity dogs? It's your local dumbass here, and today is another story, which you could probably be able to tell by the title.
I'ma fuck up my life. I'ma fuck up my life. We gon' party all night.
But yeah, another new intro. Tell me which one you guys like better, that one that was black and white or this new retro wave one. But that's not the point. The point is that it is another story time, and this time is about the second worst teacher that I have ever had in school. And the worst part is that it is a gym teacher. You know, the gym teacher is usually the one that's usually the most like laid back and chill teacher that you can have, because all you're doing is really sports. They're not really teaching anything. But no, I just happened to get the one that was always on her period, and like, oh my god, she was the worst person ever. Not worst teacher, worst person. She was a pretty bad teacher, but she was a horrible person to everyone, and she was always so grumpy. I'm not sure if it was her broken leg, but this was the first year that I had her. I knew of her, and I knew how bad she was, but I really didn't think that it could be that bad, because I've dealt with other bad teachers, and, like, the next one that I'm going to be talking about is pretty bad. But this one, she was just so horrible, dude. Every single thing that I would do, no matter how bad or how good it was, she would be angry about it, and then I get a call home. So, you know, that's always fun to deal with. But it didn't stop at a call home. Before, it was just a call home, or she'd, like, talk to my parents. But now, it's me having to call home about something that I don't even know about me doing. So she'll be like, go ahead, tell your parents that you went ahead and jumped off a wall. I'm like, you want me to tell them that I jumped off a wall? And then she's like, yes, I want you to tell them that you jumped off a wall. I'm like, okay, when did I jump off a wall? Meanwhile, my dad on the phone hearing me being a smartass to her, and I'm just sitting here like, when the hell did I jump off of a wall? And she's like, you just did it outside. I'm like, when? Why would I jump off a wall? I don't have any reason to jump off a wall. Now you're just fabricating a story just to make me sound bad in front of my dad. Meanwhile, my dad's still hearing what I'm saying, and then she was all like, okay, just give me the phone. And then she goes ahead and says some bullshit to him, and I'm all like, okay, well, I'm going to get in trouble anyway. And I come home, and I get in trouble not for what I did, quotation marks, which you guys can't see me doing, not for what I did, but because of the way I acted around her. And I'm like, okay, fair enough, that was my fault, should have taken it more chilly, and it was over there. But not before long, she kept on making bullshit up about me, and I don't know why she had a grudge specifically against me, but it was just always bullshit and false claims against me just to get me in trouble. And by that point, I'm just like stopping to care about her class and just doing whatever I want in that class. So by like the end of the first semester, I was just over with her. But yeah, this is basically just going to be a video about how bad she was to every single person. I'm not allowed to say the F word, trying to keep it child friendly, if you guys feel me. Okay, so first story. It basically goes like this. My friend, he said, I'll give you $5 if you do a front flip right here, right now. And I'm like, I would, but the concrete, it's super hard. I don't want to screw up and hit my head really hard. And he's all like, no, you can do it in the grass. Meanwhile, we're in Coach Johnston's class. So I'm like, okay, $5, why not? I'll do anything for $5. I'll suck it. Oh, wait, I can't say that. But I was willing to do a front flip in the grass. So I went ahead, did the front flip, landed straight on my back, so I really didn't get the $5. But I'm laying down on my back, I look backwards, and all I see is an upside down figure dashing at me with a crutch. And I just start busting out laughing, turn around, and I'm like, frick. And then I see Coach Johnston. She's running at me with her one leg that's still alright. And she's yelling, get off the ground now! Get off the ground! I stand up and I'm all like, it's okay, I'm fine. And then she's all like, I know that you're fine, but you're getting in big trouble for this. And I'm all like, I just did a front flip. I was in the grass. It's completely okay. There's no reason to get mad. And then she's all like, no, there's no horse playing in my classroom. And I'm like, first of all, we're not in a classroom. Second of all, there's no horse playing. It was literally just me doing a front flip. And then she's all like, okay, you want to get smart with me? We can call your dad. And I'm like, okay, we don't have to call my dad. It's fine. It's okay. And then she's all like, no, you know what? We're going to call your dad anyway. And I'm like, I thought I just came to a resolution with this woman about not calling my father because I don't want to get in trouble for doing a front flip in a gym class for $5. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You don't need to call somebody about it. She's all like, okay, well, let's go ahead and call him. So she brings me inside. I call my dad, and she's all like, your son was doing a front flip in my class. Can you believe this? And I'm all like, yeah, Dad, I'm sorry. I did a front flip. And he's all like, okay, Hunter, just don't do front flips anymore. You're going to be grounded for a week. And I'm like, man, that's such bull crap. And that's where it ended because she decides to say more, like a lot more, after I'm off the call with my dad, because she stays in that room and continues talking to him, saying like I have an attitude, which I do. And she also says that I've been hanging around with the quote unquote bad kids, which it's a horrible school. There's bad kids everywhere. Everyone was bad, and I was just contributing to it. Apparently, like I was the one that was starting everything up at this school that has a reputation for drugs, alcohol, knives, all of the above. And I was the one that was starting that by doing a front flip on the grass. So, that's always cool to get accused for something that I had no relation to at all. Yeah, but I bet you think that it stops there and that there is nothing more crazy than getting in trouble for doing a front flip in some grass. But no, that is where you're wrong, my sir. That is where you are wrong. So wrong. Okay, so this is how this one goes. There was a capture the flag with a bunch of different people from like 2 different classes combined. So it's like the coolest thing that you can get to in a gym class. So I'm on the blue team, Joseph's on the blue team too, and then we have the other people on the red team. There's this super short kid on the red team. Just keep that in mind while I'm telling this story. So it was hosted by Coach Johnston and like, I wasn't supposed to say her name. You know how much I care? I don't care a single bit that I'm going to be saying this bitch's name on the internet. She can have all of the backlash that she wants because of how horrible of a person she was. Okay, back to the story. So the game starts. My tactic is to stay as close to the fence as I can and try to do some like Skyrim sneaking stuff, like level 100. They can't see me even though I'm right in front of them. And I get about halfway into the blue zone, which it's split up into 2 zones, and they're able to pull my flag now. So I start busting out, and like remember that I'm wearing slides. I start busting out straight into their goal. I grab the flag. I'm in the safe zone right now. So I'm all like, what can I do here? I can either throw the flag or I can just run. So I decide to run. I'm running at full speed. This little tiny kid, he comes right in front of me. I was like, okay, do I juke him out? No, I can't juke him out. I have flip-flops on. Doing some mega turbo thinking. I'm like, I'm going to jump over him. So I jumped straight over this tiny child. That was in middle school. Just remember that. I jumped over this tiny child, kept on running, made it straight to my base, and I was the coolest person out there. And I was so surprised that I actually just jumped over this tiny kid and humiliated him. But, guess who comes onto the field and starts blowing their whistle? Yep, Miss Johnston. Ruins my moment. Comes straight out to the middle of the field. Hunter, get over here right now. I walk over there and I'm like, what do you want? And then she's all like, you cannot jump over people. That is strictly against the rules. I just said that right in the room before we came out here. I'm like, you didn't say anything. You were actually very lenient on the rules. And you said that there wasn't that many. I don't remember not being able to jump over a small child. And she's all like, it should go to show, Hunter, that you are not able to jump over tiny children. I'm all like, oh, so now you're calling him tiny. So now you're being discriminate against one of your students. And she's like, Hunter, stop that right now. It's not funny and you're not funny. And then I'm all like, okay, whatever. What are you going to do? Are you going to go and make me sit out? Are you going to not let me play the game? And she's like, no, I'm going to call your parents. And I'm like, why is that always your first move, to call my parents instead of trying to talk it out like an adult? And she's like, because I can. And I'm like, okay, just go and call my dad. I don't care. And she's like, nope, you're coming with me. And I'm like, oh, so this again. Keep in mind that this was about a month before school was out. So I was like, okay, I really don't care anymore. So I walk in and I'm all like, okay, what do you want me to say to him? I'll say anything to him. I'll tell him that I want to chop my leg off just to make you happy. Oh, mighty God, Miss Johnston. And she's all like, Hunter, you better stop being sarcastic or else I'll get the security card down here. And I'm like, okay, me and him are super chill. Go ahead and do what you want. She's like, okay, well, now I'm going to call your dad and call Daryl to come and bring you back to the ALC room. I'm like, okay, cool. It's quiet in there and I won't have to hear your naggy-ass voice. Let's go ahead and go. And she's like, Daryl, come and get this kid. He's being very disobedient. I'm like, Daryl, you know how mean she is. You know how much of a bother she is. And he's like, yeah, it's okay. Come on, just come down here. I'm like, okay, at least someone understands how horrible this lady is. So we go ahead and walk down there. She calls my dad. I get grounded for a whole month. And I barely get ungrounded whenever summer starts. So, that was always a fun kind of thing to have happen. Just kind of get completely removed from your classroom because of a dumbass teacher. Thank God I've never seen her ever again, and I never will because I do not go to that school anymore. But yeah, that's basically all, everyone. She was just like the worst person ever. I could go on and on about talking to her, but this is already going to be a at least 10-minute long or over video, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here and tell you guys about liking. So, you should like the video, because if you don't, Coach Johnston will come up with her completely red pants for some reason. I don't know why they're red, but you might want to take a precaution on that. And her shitty cast. She will come straight up to you with her crutch, hit you in the back of the head, and take you into her basement. If you don't like in 5 seconds, that's exactly what will happen to you. So go ahead and hit that like button, and also subscribe if you're new. And yeah, you gotta do it or else she'll hit you with a crutch. Yeah, but have a nice day, evening, night, morning, I don't know, whenever you guys are watching this, and I'll say hello to you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Send me your location, let's focus on communicating. I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I don't need